to take it upon yourself to deeply introspect and examine your life and society. It can be a very turbulent process that's simultaneously enriches the soul. So it's not necessarily for derive a sense of enjoyment, right? Come to recognize what the Black Fence Guide on YouTube describes as irreversible realizations. You may have once been in a comfortable state of complacency and never truly fulfilled. Whereas now, your illusions may have been shattered, right? A particular worldview was shattered irreversibly, which beget a more wholesome understanding that simultaneously fosters despondency, right? To recognize that you've been living a lie for so long. You may have even been hardened to a degree, desensitized, only to be reduced to a profound state of helplessness amidst turbulent experiences which may have temporarily depersonalized you, only to recuperate a profound degree of emotional sensitivity. Assuming you've maintained a steadfast resiliency in a turbulent, seemingly meaningless world, right? Now, how does this relate to the notion of a highly sensitive personality, for instance? Well, this person will be less susceptible to being desensitized by this revelation and their tumultuous experiences, for instance. Maintain a more cheerful disposition, irrespective of how cold and spiteful the world can be, serves as a bulwark against a certain degree of derangement associated with simply being alive. You know, somebody who's not necessarily agreeable, but profoundly rational, for instance, may very well compartmentalize morality, for instance, but not necessarily experience the same degree of emotional depth that's characteristic of the aforementioned personality. You can certainly envision a certain type of countenance, for instance, like a reflection of innocence in one's eyes, akin to a friendly, childlike expression. I'm not describing sensitive in a disparaging light, for instance. Some people certainly associate that with someone who's prickly and thin-skinned, although I'd find this person to be exceptionally more receptive, and it doesn't necessarily describe someone who's emotionally dysregulated, although tumultuous experiences, for instance, notably those involving attachment, can discombobulate people emotionally, and they're imbued the responsibility to rectify that. Somebody who's more emotionally intelligent, for instance, often exhibits a degree of emotional sensitivity, for instance.